Hi, welcome to episode 86 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. My name's Laura. I'm also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Twitter and Instagram. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com. That's where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have a shop called the Stash Buckler Adventures in Yarn on Etsy where I sell my handspun yarns. And we have a Ravelry group called the Corner of Knit and Tea. Welcome to episode 86. It is Sunday, May 1st, and I am happy to be here. If this is your first time joining me, thanks. I hope you'll enjoy the episode. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I so enjoy spending time with you. This week has been kind of crazy. Monday started and I had a big ply-away hangover. I did not want to go back to work. We have a variety of things going on at work that I had to deal with this week. And so it was kind of busy and I felt like I did not have enough craft time this week. No matter how much I do, I feel like I could get more done. And my husband assures me that it's probably because I sleep in on Saturday and Sunday mornings because I did not get up super early this morning. So maybe that's part of it. But I did stay up late a few nights this week to try and get more done. And so we'll see. I don't have a ton to show you, but I have a few interesting things to talk about. I hope you have had a good week. And I guess I cannot believe that it's May already. This year is just speeding by. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? So I'm starting to think about summer and socks and lace shawls, but then I'm also starting to think about fall and birthdays and sweaters and all kinds of things. So it's just kind of a crazy time of year. I guess that's it. We'll get into the show today. So today I am drinking another iced tea. I told you I was going to try and do that. This is Hibiscus Sangria, and that is from the Republic of Tea. And it has hibiscus, apple bits, sweet blackberry leaves, orange peel, natural orange, lemon lime, and strawberry flavors. They suggest that you prepare this. These are the quart tea bags. So they are oversized bags and they suggest that you prepare the quart of tea. And then they say that you can add fruit or a little bit of wine or a little bit of whatever you want. So I just added a little bit of sugar to mine this morning and it is delicious. It is nice and fruity, but not super sweet. I think the lemon peel and the orange give it just a little bit of tang. So even with a little bit of sugar, it's not super sweet. So that is Hibiscus Sangria and of course my Minions cup, which is where I drink all my icy cold beverages all summer. And I love it. And this is a Tervis, and you can get Tervis cups on Amazon, or if you're in the US, Bed Bath & Beyond usually has a really large selection. Although I think this one I ordered online actually from the Tervis site for the Minions. So let's move on. I have one small finished object today, and actually you have not seen this one before. Although you have seen many like it, I have a Mario. This is Mario the Artistic Rabbit by Jenna Krupar. I didn't realize he would come across so dark on here. This is some handspun that I spun years ago, and he is a great little bunny pattern. He is for one of two new babies. I have a cousin who is having twins any day now, so he is number one, and I have another skein to work on number two this week, and then they will go off to my cousin, and he's got a little puffy tail with my pom-pom maker. And I went a little less aggressive this time. If you remember, the one I showed you several weeks ago had an enormous pom-pom on the butt, so I went just a little less aggressive this time, a few fewer wraps. And like I said, I don't think it's quite as dark in person as it's coming across on the screen. Oh, that's better. I don't know why that just lightened up, but that is a much better representation. And yeah, these rabbits are so fun. I get through them really, really quickly. There's just a little bit of making up at the end, and they are so sweet and expressive, and I love giving them as baby gifts. So yes, he will have a brother, and I will take photos of the two of them, and then they will go off to live in their new home. So that is my finished object for today, and hopefully I will have another one for next week. So that brings me to what I've been working on this week. I have been working feverishly on the sweater. This is the Frost at Midnight cardigan by Kate Davies, and I am knitting it in some test yarn, or yarn that I was given to review from Monostil Uruguay, and it is their Merino base, which is a lace weight single. It is superwash merino, and it is absolutely lovely. And as I told you, it stands to the test of ripping as well, which unfortunately I've had to do a couple times, totally due to my own error. And that is what I'm using here. It is in the Arboretum colorway, so it is a great green with all kinds of different greens in it. And I am up to the fun part. It is kind of slow going, but it is the most interesting part of the sweater, which is I am up to the yoke, and I have been working on beading this week. I think I'll show you a section on the back because that's probably the easiest. I am most of the way through the I think they're like pine trees or firs. I mean, definitely evergreens, and I am most of the way through the beading. I am using size 8, they're Dynamites, and this is the white pastel colorway. I knew I wanted white pearly beads for the pattern, and like I said, I am most of the way through the chart. I have 6 or 7 rows left, and then I will be doing some decreases to get down to the collar. Now I had hoped to finish this section this week, and unfortunately the beading went a lot slower than I thought it would. I figured 26 rows, I'll knock that out. Nope, I'm through about 18 right now, and so I'm hoping maybe I'll get a few more in tonight. I noticed that I do a few rows and then I start dropping beads, and it's just not as much fun as I thought it would be. So yes, so I want to finish the yoke this week, try it on, and keep my fingers crossed that it fits, because as you remember, I had a few sizing issues up top. Then I will have button bands, a collar, and then sleeves. And I'm doing okay on yarn. I was worried that I might run out. I still don't know for sure how far I will make it, but I still have these cakes of yarn, and because it's lace weight, there is actually a lot here. So I don't know. I did break down and buy one more skein just in case. And if I do not end up using that, I'm going to do that as a giveaway on the blog when a giveaway here when I finish, because it is a lovely yarn to work with. So keep your eyes peeled. If I don't need to break into it, which I'm hoping I won't, that will be a giveaway here on the show. And this is what I am still working on. I am really hoping that in the next week or two, I am going to knock this out, because as much as I have loved working on it, I really want to wear it and be done and move on to something else. So yes, that is I'm calling it Frosted Pines, but it is Frost at Midnight by Kate Davies. And like I said, the beautiful Monos Merino yarn that I am loving working with. So that is where I'm at on that one. I did not work on the shawl this week because, so basically the, Frost at Midnight sweater has become kind of my home project, because when I'm beading, I try not to take that out. I just need to sit and concentrate and keep my beads near me and my crochet hook, and so it has become a home project. The shawl was my lunchtime project at work and my knitting out and about project, but I swapped that out for the bunny because I wanted to get that done this week. So I did not make any progress on the Party Cove shawl or any of the other names that we may call it. As you know, I talked about Sock Blanket Madness last week, and I started out really strong last Sunday. I knit 4 squares, and I was like, slow down, you've got the whole week to knit squares, and I didn't touch it until last night when I picked it up and added 2 more squares. So I am now up to 96 squares. I have 4 more left to get to 100. It is looking great. It is getting big, and I am getting close to where I may stop adding to the width and just keep adding to the length, although I can't decide exactly how big I want it. knit. I have collected a bunch more minis through swaps and through purchases. So I have at least one more round probably where I do not have to duplicate. And then I actually am going to go back and duplicate some of them and intersperse them with new things. And I think it will be fine. But that one definitely did not get any attention this week because, like I said, I am knitting as hard and as fast as I can, and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Especially the beaded rows really slowed me down this week. So I am hoping to get back on track and get more knitting done because I have so many things I want to do. It is never ending. So the final thing I will show you, and this is kind of anticlimactic because I'm going to show it to you and then I'm going to rip it out, are the stripy socks that I showed you that I cast on for last week. I'm using the Vanilla is the New Black pattern, and the sock yarn is Show Me Yarns. It's in their boot heel base, and it is called Aunt Gigi. And I knit for a while because I love it, and I will say there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with the yarn. I love the yarn. This is the sock that it is knitting up so far. However, the sock is really, really big because when I stretch it, it's huge for my feet. And the gauge is pretty loose. I'm only getting like 6.5 or 7 stitches to the inch, and I would really prefer to be doing, well, I guess about 6.5 or 7 per inch, and I would really prefer to be doing more than that. So I think I'm going to rip this and go down to size 0 needles. I ordered zeros this week and I'm waiting for them to get here so I can rip this out and recast on. So I love the sock, I love the yarn, but this is going to have to come out and start again. So, and I do hope to rip this and start it again, and I want to finish it by the end of the month, because this, I would love to knit, I would love to enter the Wolf Farms. They're doing, for their Hatch and Knit, they're doing socks this time around. And I have a million other socks that I would love to do too, and I'm really, really, really hoping that it just happens to be this yarn that I'm not getting a good gauge with, because these are my favorite needles ever. These are my US signatures, US 1, they're 2.25. I knit like all my socks on these, and I love these needles, and I'm going to be really depressed if I have to move all my sock knitting down to zeros. I also just ordered a couple pair of Zings to try out, and I ordered them in US 1s because that's my favorite size to knit socks on. But I'm a little afraid now that I'm gonna end up going down to zeros. So we shall see. I ordered some Maddie Flip Sticks so that I can recast these on and see what I want to do with these. But I did want to show you these. It's beautiful yarn. I love the colors. And this is Show Me yarn. They're on Etsy. So that is the knitting for this week. Like I said, I wish there had been more. I have all these projects in the air that I would love to finish. But it's just going to be a little bit, I guess. Just be patient and just keep knitting. Little Dory from Finding Nemo, except it's not swimming, it's knitting. So, let's go to spinning. Last week I showed you a beautiful braid that I had started, well, I guess I didn't show it to you in braid form. I showed it to you once I had already pulled it apart. I started spinning something that I picked up from the market at Plyaway. It was Huckleberry Knits fiber. It was Targhee in the Wishing Well colorway, and it was pinks and browns and purples and lavenders, and it has spun up and it is absolutely gorgeous. And that is a pretty good colorway estimate. It is still sopping wet. I finished it yesterday and soaked it yesterday evening, so I will be taking some pictures, but this will definitely not get listed until tomorrow. And this is for the shop. It is probably around 300 yards. It looks like a, well, Targee's a little puffy. It looks like probably a sport weight. It would make lovely socks. It is also super soft, so it would make a nice accessory or shawlette. And I will, like I said, be posting that in the shop. If it interests you, it is not spoken for yet. I'm trying to give you like the best colors. Also keep an eye out on Instagram because I will post photos on Instagram, and those will probably be the best color wise. So that is what I finished this week. Which brings me to my next spin. This one actually is not going to be for the shop. As you know, we have the Shawl Knit Along going on in, it's a joint effort between the Corner of Knit and Tea in my Ravelry group and Woolly Wonka Fibers podcast in Anne's group. And I am participating in offering 2 prizes. Anne and I are each offering a prize to one lucky winner. I said that I would do a skein of handspun, and I don't know if Anne has completely decided which she's doing yet. And then we are offering a joint prize to whoever... we will be doing a second prize draw if you knit one of Anne's patterns, and we will be doing a joint prize draw, which I believe Anne is going to do a project bag, and I'm going to do a skein of handspun yarn. So I picked out something that I thought would match the fabric that she selected for the project bag, and so I am going to be spinning this one this week. This is a beautiful Polworth braid of Hello Yarn, and it is in the Sideways colorway, and it is mauves and grays and a little bit of green and yellow, kind of grello, and this is a favorite braid of mine, and I am super excited to see what it turns into. It's kind of soft, and I absolutely love it. So this one I am going to be spinning up for a prize, so this one will not be going in the shop, but if you knit a shawl, you could be entered to win it. So that is what I'm going to spin this week. Next week, I'll spin something for the shop again, and then I have another prize braid to spin. So I will be busy kind of alternating between prizes and shop braids. But yes, I am super excited about this one. This one is just gorgeous. I've been holding on to it forever, and I know that it will go to a wonderful home. So that brings me towards the end of the podcast. I know it's super short. I hate it when I don't have a lot to talk about because I haven't gotten a lot done during the week. But I do have one more thing to talk about. This week, my friend slash enabler, Linda, posted in the Ravelry group and asked if I would be captaining a Tour de Fleece thread this year. And she asked because I have sort of enabled her into spindle spinning. She sort of knew how and had taken a class, but the last couple of years I have sort of encouraged her to spindle spin, and I sent her some different fibers and techniques and tutorials last year, and she kind of found her groove. And so this year she really wanted me to start a Tour de Fleece team. For those of you who are not spinners or who haven't participated before, Tour de Fleece is an event that we spinners enjoy. Basically, we spin for the 3 weeks that the Tour de France is on, and basically the goal is to spin for those 3 weeks. Different groups have different goals. In the official Tour de Fleece group on Ravelry, yes, there is one, they encourage you to spin along with the tour, which is spin on the days that the tour rides. Give yourself challenges on 2 days during the tour. 2 days during the actual Tour de France are defined as challenge days. They are the hardest days on the ride, and the moderators over in the Tour de Fleece group encourage you to take those challenge days and make them your own. Pick out something that's challenging for you and do it on those challenge days. There are also 2 rest days during the 3 weeks, and so you can rest from spinning on those days if you so choose. I often play loose with my rest days because Wednesday nights are my knit nights and I'm out, and I usually don't get to sit at the wheel those days, so I usually count my Wednesdays during the tour as my rest days, and I spin on all the other days. Anyway, Linda asked, there are a variety of groups. Basically, anyone can form a team, and then the teams, you can join as many teams as you want. And then the teams do all kinds of little challenges and different things in them. I am thinking about doing a team for the Corner of Knit and Tea, and I am wondering if you would be interested in participating. You know me, I'm not super big on rules or things that limit the number of participants. So really the way we would work it is if you want to be on the Corner of Knit and Tea team, you just say so. You spin as much or as little as you want to. You post pictures of your progress, and you chat in the chatter thread and hang out and cheer everyone on. There would be no specific fibers that you would need to spin, no requirements on wheels. You can certainly choose to do the challenge days, although I will probably not do anything specific for them. There would be prizes. I am thinking, well, I'll probably donate some fiber from my own stash. I would welcome any donations from anyone else. My other thought is that what I would probably do is what I have done in years past when I have actually run some teams for some other groups. We'd have one chatter thread in which anyone can participate, and even non-spinners. I do not want to exclude people who do not spin, but who would want to talk about the tour or follow along or just chat with us. And then at the end of the tour, I would probably do one thread that is just for finished spins, and each person who has participated can post once in that thread and put pictures of their finished spins, and then I will do some random number generator for prizes out of that thread, and I'll probably draw a few out of the chat thread as well. So it would just be a fun event. As far as I'm concerned, you can double, triple dip. You can join as many teams as you want. Do be careful if you join other teams. Some of them have rules about which fibers you can use, or how many times you can count them for different teams or whatnot. But as far as I'm concerned, the more the merrier. You can do whatever you want. Tour de Fleece is really what you make of it. You can spindle spin, you can wheel spin, you can not spin at all. You can watch the tour while you spin, which is what I do, but that is certainly not a requirement. We can just chat and have a good time. So if you are interested, please head over to the Ravelry group, post in that thread. I'd just like to get a little bit of a count. I did post something on Instagram and had a number of people say that they were interested. I'm not looking for any specific number. I'm hoping for, you know, at least 10 to 20 people who want to participate, because I think it's more fun if we have more people and lots of pictures and encouragement. So please think about that. And I guess that is what I have for you today. So if you have any questions for me, you can always contact me anywhere. And I also have the Ask Me Anything thread, which I have tagged to the stickied to the top of the board. So if you have questions, you're welcome to ask there. I hope that you have a wonderful week. And until I see you again, I will say what I always say, which is happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye.